Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Candela, hypnotherapist and a transformation coach. And on this channel, I talk about hypnosis, transformation, and spiritual awakening. So today I want to talk about a rather spiritual topic. So if that's not your cup of tea, just skip this video. But I want to talk about life purpose. I have a lot of clients that come to me and they ask me, what is my life purpose? This question especially comes up when people come in for past life regression, because in it we usually find out what the soul has in mind for this lifetime. What does it want to experience? And so when people come in for a certain type of session that I do, which is QHHT, they have to come in with a list of questions prepared that they will ask their higher self. 99.9% of the time, one of the questions that people bring in is, what is my life's purpose? And so I want to talk today about whether we all have a purpose in life, where there is some sort of predetermined, predestined thing that we plan to achieve. And then also, what does it mean to live your life following your purpose, or how is it expressed in our lives? So the answer to the question, do we all have a life purpose, I believe is an absolute yes. So in other words, a soul doesn't sort of wander into a physical existence without having a very clear understanding of what it wants to achieve. We all come in with a certain somewhat plan. I mean, it may not be absolutely exact as to, on this day I will do this and on this day I will do that. That's not part of the purpose. There is free will involved. And, at some point we may actually decide completely forego the original plan and just live a different life. So that's all part of the package of being alive on Earth. But do we all come in with some sort of plan or some sort of desire to experience something? Yes. Now, I think where people get really stuck is that a human understanding of a life purpose is achievement. We think that in order for us to have a life purpose, it means we want to do something, accomplish something. Like, for example, a life purpose may be to be a great musician, or it may be to be president of a company, or it may be to accumulate a lot of money. But what I have found through the sessions that I've had with clients is that a life purpose sometimes has absolutely nothing to do with accomplishing something. Very often, a life purpose is simply having a certain experience. And the experience can even be positive or negative, the way that we would define it or assess it on a human level. Now, a soul views it differently, but on a human level, we may say, well, why would I choose to experience something like this? It's painful. So we put sort of a label on it or a value on it as having a negative benefit. But a soul comes in, if you think about a soul journey, it wants to experience life. It wants to experience emotions. It wants to experience sensations. It wants to put itself into different situations and see how it will act, how it will respond. And so a life on Earth allows us that 3D reality where we can go through those experiences. So a life purpose, for example, may be to experience loss. It may be to experience betrayal. It may be to experience being stuck so that you can then compare it to what's opposite of that. So that you can develop, so you can appreciate a sense of commitment and love and freedom. So on a human level, it's really difficult for us to believe that, or to sort of process it. You know, if you find out, oh, well, my purpose in this life is to be betrayed, you know, it may be a little bit tough to swallow, and I understand that. But the soul never comes in to have such an experience that will completely sort of destroy it, just utter devastation. There is always hope, and there is always a path for the soul to experience anything that we would consider negative, whether it's loss or betrayal, and then rise above it, remembering who it is, what it is, where it comes from, where its source is, and still move forward in life. So even, I really want to stress this, that even if the soul comes in with a goal of experiencing something difficult, challenging, and we often choose to experience something challenging because that's really the only way we can really learn something. I mean, I know we all talk about a soul coming to school, to earth as a school, and so we are challenged with lessons, but it's not just to challenge us for the sake of challenging us. It's only that through this experience we can comprehend what it really means to feel something. So if you're floating in total bliss and love in heaven, let's say, and I call it home. So at home, you're floating in bliss, and you talk about loss, and you want to say, I want to feel what it's like when you lose someone you love. But you really can't understand it at that level. You can't really fully feel what it does to you because you are so loved and you feel loved and you have no concern about not being loved, or you don't feel any concern about losing anyone because you know everybody's there and home is home and God is all there is and there is no loss. So the only way for you to really experience it is to come and put yourself into the circumstances where you can truly feel it. So that's why the only way, that's what it means, that you have to experience a challenge to really understand it, because at home in that spirit level, there is no challenge, so it's hard for you to actually feel those negative things. And so when the soul makes a decision to experience something that's challenging, there is always a way out. A soul would never put itself into such a corner where it is so completely devastated that it can't just contain itself. Because if that happens, the soul has an exit and it just leaves the body and it leaves this plane and it returns home. And even when it decides to choose, there is still an alternative to rise above the challenges and move forward with an understanding, a broader perspective of what is happening. So that's just one type of a purpose. So it has nothing to do with accomplishing anything, but it has everything to do with having a particular experience. Now, sometimes a soul comes in with a very, what we would call positive life purpose, life experience. For example, a soul wants to experience unconditional love. Now, I think all of us experience unconditional love when we are in spirit, when we're home. But this would be an experience in a 3D reality, you know, physical experiences with family, with partners. And so soul may come in and their entire life is focused perhaps on family, on relationships, on being with children. They may not even choose, you know, if circumstances allow, they may not even choose to go outside and do any outside work because that is not part of their purpose. They're really focused on exploring love, being loved, and sharing love and expressing love. And then there's sometimes a life purpose when you really come in to accomplish something. And that's a purpose too. There may be souls that come in to bring technological advancements to the whole planet. There may be souls that come in to make some specific discoveries, to invent certain new approaches and certain new health-related methods. There are souls that will come in to make revolutionary changes in our political systems or educational systems, so some sort of systemic changes. So all of those are quite real purposes, and a soul can choose any one of them. Now, another purpose is to experience not perhaps a state of being, but experience, I guess it's sort of a state of being, but it's really an action. So, for example, the purpose is not on experiencing loss, but on dealing with loss. So instead of just being more passive and kind of taking it in and seeing how it affects you and what it feels like, the focus is really not on the loss itself. And perhaps, you know, the soul has experienced loss in the past, but now the focus is, how do you get up and move forward? So yes, losses can feel terrible. It's sad. You're lost for a moment. But in this life, you need to develop coping skills. You need to develop a way for you to move forward and take actual steps in the right direction. So sometimes the purpose is on developing certain skills, on being resilient, on being courageous. So it's not just about taking in an experience, but doing something. But this doing something, again, notice that it's different from doing something to accomplish a task. It's doing something, but for your personal soul development. Now, we wouldn't, you know, if we think about courage as a life purpose, we wouldn't even think about it as personal development necessarily. Like, you're not becoming more loving to other people, you're not transforming other people, like you're not doing things for others. So as humans evaluate that kind of thing, it's really deeply just for yourself. You're not becoming a better person for others. But that is a very legitimate soul purpose, you know, a life purpose for a soul. So what I find is that when people ask, do I have a life purpose? They really ask, am I supposed to accomplish something? Am I supposed to hold a certain job? Am I supposed to have certain skills? Am I supposed to do something for somebody? And so the concern is always that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so first of all, I always tell them, you know, there is a purpose about doing sometimes, but sometimes there is an equal purpose just about being. So if you want to discover what your purpose is, I mean, there are ways to do that, and you can, come in and do a regression. But you can also just sit down quietly and just maybe close your eyes to just block the outside out of your focus. And just think about what is kind of consistent throughout my life. What is one thing that I've been perhaps good at, or that I'm passionate about, or that has just been sort of circulating through my life, things that keep coming up and coming up and coming up. So any of those could be your life purpose. So for example, if one of the things that for me personally that I find is that persistence is one of my life purposes. I want to, I guess my soul wants to develop that kind of perseverance, maybe even not more than persistence. It's perseverance. It's just no matter what knocks you down, you're just going to keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. And so perseverance is one of the things that I want to develop. This is kind of a skill that I want to develop. Now, there are certain things that are part of my life purpose that are very task-oriented, accomplishment-oriented, and I've been aware of that since childhood. But there are also things that are just focused on being and on experiencing. And so those would not be for the outside world. The world wouldn't care whether I accomplished them or not, but they are important for my soul to experience, so they're part of my life purpose. So that's the answer to that question. But now, some people say, okay, well, let's say my life purpose is to be a great caretaker, to develop caretaking skills. So how do I create that? Because, caretaking is great. I mean, I could be a teacher, maybe I could be a nurse. I could babysit, I could just take care of my family. Like, there are different ways I could be a caretaker. But really what I need to do is have a job that pays my bills, because I have to provide for my family. So I actually feel like I would like to be in a more caring, a person-to-person connection kind of experience. I want to have more of a caretaking on a human level profession, but I don't know that it will pay enough. So one thing that you may have already thought is, well, taking care financially of your family is caretaking, right? So that could be interpreted as that. So if you feel that that kind of fulfills you and that's enough, then that's fine, because that's caretaking as well. There are so many different interpretations of that. But what if you don't feel fulfilled by just financial caretaking? What if you're making the money because you feel, you need to take care of the family, but there's really something that pulls you in a different direction, that you really don't want to work, let's say in a financial industry, you want to work in a human service industry. And so the question that comes up, do I follow kind of the practical concerns of life? Do I do what my family needs? Do I do what's expected of me? Do I do what's required of me? Or do I follow my passion? If my purpose is to be a caretaker, do I honor that and just drop everything and run into the sunset being a caretaker? Do I follow my heart? Do I follow my head? What do I do? I think it's a journey that everyone has to take on their own. But I think the question that you have to ask is, does what you do bring you joy? Because ultimately joy is sort of the way that your spirit tells you you're doing something that you really should continue doing. This is your zone, this is your place, this is yours, keep going with it. So when the question is, do I take this job or that? Do I follow my passion? Do I follow my dreams? Do I just stay with whatever I'm supposed to be doing? That's the only question you should ask. Does it bring you joy? So it really does not matter what it is that you do or how in fact you interpret that caretaking responsibility, because again, it could be, you could be a mayor of the city, and you could interpret it, or approach, I should say, not even interpret, but approach that work as taking care of the whole city. And so then it is caretaking, right? So the interpretation can be quite wide, it's broad, it's how you approach something. But as you run the city, let's say, does that bring you inner joy, inner fulfillment? Is that sort of resonating with you so that, you know, when you pluck that string on the instrument and it's just sings just the right tone for you? If you feel joy, if you feel fulfillment from what you do, then the exact job title really has no meaning, and the exact job that you hold really has no meaning. And if you don't feel fulfilled in any way, and if you don't feel that there is any joy in it, but there is something else that calls to you, that there's somewhere else that your passion lies, then I would say, yeah, I think you should rethink your path. I think you should look into ways that you can realign with your joy. Now, there are a lot of people that really don't find a lot of joy in the work that they do, and they don't really feel that work is supposed to be about joy. Work is just about, you know, getting money, putting food on the table, and then you find joy somewhere else. And that's perfectly okay too. If you have a spot in your life where you have joy, and if it aligns with your life's purpose, so again, remember, life's purpose doesn't have to be a job. It can be maybe just being with your children, or exploring just freedom or independence. Like, it could be anything. So if your life's purpose is aligned with your joy, you're on the right track. You're doing great. And if you feel that there is an incongruence between the way you feel about living, the way you feel about what you do, the way just you feel about things that are happening in your life, and where your passion is, or your joy is, or maybe your interests are, or maybe you're not even sure where your joy is. You're not even sure what will bring you satisfaction. Then there is some room for conversation and exploration. Then I'd say, why don't you start having that sort of internal discussion first, because you first have to start posing questions, and then see if there is some additional help that you need to figure out how to walk this journey on this earth. But in any case, life on earth is not supposed to be a devastating, sad, impossibly challenging affair. Yes, we all have challenges, but life is supposed to be about finding a way that we can live still connected with our inner spirit and our inner wisdom and our inner love. So if you have questions about your life purpose, would like to explore it further, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about your life purpose. When did you find out what it was? And perhaps you haven't found out yet. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you share your thoughts with me. I also would really very much appreciate if you like this video, if you enjoy the content of it, and if you subscribe and click on the bell so you can be notified of any of my future postings. For now, thank you very much for being here. Have a great day.